Hey everyone, I'm Jordan, the developer of Down Sprite Maker. Exciting news! I'm partnering with finalbossblues to support his Time Elements character asset series as a sprite style for my program. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to get started using the Time Elements sprite style in Down Sprite Maker, and how to extend the sprite style for the Time Elements expansion asset packs. By default, the Time Elements character asset packs come with a base layer sprite sheets and their own default generator, so you can choose to manually compose layers together to create characters with an art program like Sprite or Photoshop, or use the default generator, which has similar functionality to Down Sprite Maker. There's a great tutorial for the default generator by Baz, which I've linked in the description. There are a few reasons to choose Down Sprite Maker over the default generator. Generally speaking, Down Sprite Maker offers more advanced features and flexibility. You have more control over recoloring, randomization, and the configuration and layout of your sprite sheets. Alright, let's get into it. First things first, you're going to need to own both Down Sprite Maker and the Time Elements character core set to follow along. The itch.io store page links for both are in the description. Once you've bought the Time Elements character core set, navigate to the downloads page. The main zip file download option contains the assets, the guide PDF, and the default generator. You don't need it to run the sprite style in Down Sprite Maker. We're interested in the zip that has the _tdsm.zip suffix. Download that file to your computer. Then open the location you downloaded it to in your file manager program. On Windows, this will be File Explorer, and on macOS, it'll be Finder. Extract the contents of the zip folder to a folder of your choice. Inside the extracted folder, you should see a README file and another zip file called elements.tdsmstyle.zip. The README is just a guide that has the same instructions as the first part of this tutorial, and the elements.tdsmstyle.zip is our sprite style. This is what we'll be uploading to Down Sprite Maker. Okay, now make sure you've installed Down Sprite Maker since purchasing it and open the program. Also, make sure you have the latest version of the program installed. As of this tutorial, that's 1.2.0. On the main menu, click Start Editing to go to the customization page. Then click the plus icon to bring up the file dialog window. Navigate to the folder you chose for the extracted zip contents and select elements.tdsmstyle.zip. The sprite style should now be loaded into Down Sprite Maker. You can preview any of the various animations by selecting it from the animation dropdown. You can turn your character in the preview panel by clicking on the curved arrows on either side of the preview. Use the options in the right panel to customize your character. Most options let you choose from among several assets for a particular layer. Other options let you assign a color. Some of the color assignments force you to choose from among a set of predetermined options for the sake of aesthetics, while others let you assign any RGB color from the color picker or the hex code text box. You can choose to enable or disable a shadow below the character as well. Once you're happy with the character you've customized, click the Configure button. Here on the configuration page, you can arrange your exported sprite sheet to suit your needs. The padding section lets you pad or crop individual frames of your sprite sheet to your desired pixel size and spacing. If you wish to crop rather than pad, just type a negative number into the pixel text boxes. The sequencing section lets you choose which directions and animations you wish to include in your exported sprite sheet and in which order. To exclude a direction or animation, just uncheck its checkbox. To reorder them, click and drag on the 3 vertical bars to the right of each entry. The sprite sheet layout section lets you choose how you want frames arranged in the sprite sheet. I'll show you 2 configuration examples to show you what's possible in Down Sprite Maker. First, I'll export a full sprite sheet with the directions running vertically and animations running horizontally, with all the animations stitched to each other in one row, left to right. I'll exclude the animations that are just a subset of the frames in another animation. For example, idle is contained in walk, crouch is contained in jump, etc. And just to demonstrate, I'll move the up-facing direction up so it's the first in the direction order. Let me export that. By the way, don't include .png in the file name text box here, it gets automatically added once you export. If you want to save the metadata associated with the sprite sheet, as well as the customization and configuration choices you made in Down Sprite Maker, check the Export JSON box. That way, you can re-upload the JSON file to the program later or in a future session and reload your character with all the customization and configuration options remembered. Let me have a look at what I just exported. Yeah, that looks right. Secondly, I'm going to show you how to configure and export for RPG Maker XP. The format here is also directions running vertically, animation frames running horizontally. The direction order is down, left, right, up, and the animation frames are a 1-frame idle animation followed by a 3-frame walk animation. I'll also crop the individual frames to a size of 32 by 32 pixels. In the configuration preview window, we can see that we have more empty space below the character than above because of certain animation frames where they swing their weapon downwards. I'm not using those animations here because I'm only exporting our idle frame and our walk cycle, so I'll crop more pixels from the bottom than the top. I'll temporarily uncheck the directions at the top of the order to make sure that no pixels are getting clipped in our desired animations. Now that I've excluded all the animations besides idle and walk, I'll export this and show you the output. There you go. Final Boss Blues has also released expansions for the Time Elements character core set. Each expansion has a bunch of new customization options for various layers. In this part of the video, I'll show you how to add the content from an expansion to the sprite style. Similar to the character core set, each expansion has a dedicated download option for the top-down Sprite Maker content. Go to where you purchased the expansion, go to the downloads page, and download the zip file with the _tdsm.zip suffix. This will contain a readme with instructions, a folder called art editions, and a folder called CSV editions. I'm going to put this in the same place I put the character core set contents. Once there, I'll extract the zip contents to a new folder and open that folder in a new File Explorer window. Then, in my initial window, I'm going to extract the contents of our actual sprite style to a new folder as well. This folder should contain the manifest.tds script file and the folders CSV and originals. Now I'm ready to add the expansion content to the sprite style. First, I'm going to copy all the contents of each subfolder of art editions and paste them into the matching subfolder of originals. Head into head, hair into hair, etc. Secondly, I need to copy over the metadata so the manifest.tds script file knows how to treat the newly added art assets. To do that, I will copy the contents of each add to layer name here.csv file to the end of the matching layer name here.csv file. A few things to be aware of here. 1. Make sure you're including the initial comma in the add to layer name here.csv files. 2. Make sure there are no spaces between the previous contents and the contents you add. And 3. Make sure that the resulting file is still 2 lines and that the second line is empty. And that's everything. I'll select manifest.tds, originals, and CSV and compress them to a zip file. You can call this file whatever you want as long as it still has the .zip file extension. This is the updated sprite style. Let's try uploading it to Top-Down Sprite Maker. As you can see, if I open the head layer and scroll through the options, I now have head options from the expansion that weren't included in the initial sprite style that only had the character core set content. Also, note that you can follow these steps to extend our sprite style for any expansion. If I wanted to now add expansion 2, I could follow the same steps, but treat my current updated sprite style as the starting point and add expansion 2's art editions and CSV editions to my current original subfolders and CSV layer files. This goes for any future expansions that Final Boss Blues releases as well. And that's it for this video. Check the description for relevant links, like the video if it helped you, and subscribe for more Top-Down Sprite Maker content in future projects.